6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From pretty much since I can remember, I'd always looked up to my dad and the kind of waves he liked to surf, and always wanted to achieve that and push myself in that direction.
The area where I originally learned to surf was a beach next to an area that has a lot of deep water reefs that get really good when it's big. Watching the older guys and the big kids paddle out on the big days. And I think that influence stuck with me from the very beginning.
I remember as a kid, I was always begging him to take me to these places.
It was devastating for him when I said, no, it's too big today. He didn't like to hear that. It would have been very irresponsible of me to let him go out.
Eventually, when I actually had the ability and was old enough to handle it, he'd let me tag along and show me the ropes at different lineups, and yeah, it's really helped me be where I am today.
I met Russ in South Oz. It was pretty obvious straight away he charged pretty heavy. I think what stood out about Russ to me was he was just so confident. It's kind of intimidating with 15-year-old kids, like putting your 25 years of experience on the line in front of your face, you know? It was cool. To me, it just looked like he just loves that rush, you know? He just loves that feeling of like on the edge of being out of control, you know? Kind of rare when a kid that age is that comfortable in waves that are that heavy.
When I was young and just starting to get into surfing, really, Dad taught me his trick when he was in the big waves to just count underwater. You always think you're under for longer than you actually are. So what feels like probably a 30-second hold down is probably closer to 5 or 10 seconds. It's really beneficial just for your mental side of things while you're down there. That was my first time getting down to that right slab I surfed with Kelly all those years ago, and I was really looking forward to seeing what my take on it was now compared to when I was younger. The wave's still pretty insane. Yeah, I was worried when you said it looked junky last night. I think we're on, eh? Hey, Dad. Yeah, it was pretty fun today. It was like probably 15 foot and clean. I rode the 9.2 with the toe quad fins, and yeah, they felt really good, like super loose and still held. Hellman just said he needs a board. We were just discussing that. Just got back from a 50-hour round trip on the road to the desert and back, and then Swell at Home popped up on the charts and got the call up for Red Bull Cape Fear.
I'll tell you what, the Cape Fear contest, just watching it online, it was probably the most exciting thing I'd ever watched in my life. That first day was that was terrifying. Every single wave was like on the edge of your seat. You didn't want to move all day. Russ was like properly making good waves. You could see he was adjusting and surfing the wave like you should surf it. He looked so comfortable that day. You know, so many guys were just eating shit and like almost dying, and he was like one of the most fitting guys to win that for sure.
I still don't really think it's sunk in all the way what happened. In the moment, it was just crazy. I just got up the rocks and was like pretty much losing it on the rocks. It all felt super surreal. Getting on the big wave tour and just progressing the sport, I really want to try and do both of those things. You can't really surf a wave any shallower than what we're riding now, but you can definitely ride it better and figure out ways to ride it differently. Still some waves where it's just either too dangerous or not physically possible to paddle into. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement, what is paddleable and what's not. Pushing myself paddling is so much more rewarding